I remember one late summer evening, quietly awake in bed, and as I was beginning to slip into sleep, when I heard a voice say, "You were in the Black Rose program." I thought, what is the Black Rose program? And then I had this vision of a woman setting a small bouquet of black roses on a grave. Immediately I thought about Valentino and the many women who kept sending him roses over the years. I also thought of Edgar Allan Poe and his burial site being visited for many years after his death. I thought, this is sad or tragic. Even Poe was burdened by his own lost love, Virginia, who died through illness prematurely. I somehow fell into sleep, and the following day I had a vision of the Hunger Games. I thought, this is the pipe dream of monarch. They'd love to see humans suffering and hearts broken. I began to research it, and I saw the character named Effie. And not only was she wearing a black rose, but she had a dress covered in monarch butterflies. According to the plot and the inspiration for the book series, it goes deeper to the story of Theseus and the Minotaur. This came from ancient Greece, and the stories regarding punishment and suffering. And then I thought of the Minotaur. The Minotaur was as a result of a romance coming from Minos's wife, and it was a big problem. Regarding the storyline of Minos's wife in the Isle of Crete and the very strange situation that happened that created this Minotaur, it was an unnatural desire created by Poseidon at the time because of a form of disobedience. This is the punishing or the punisher. Corporations do the same thing, that they provoke infidelity or rebellion against one's love for whatever cause that is. There are many variations that could happen naturally. For example, there's an imbalance in love. One loves one more than the other, and that's not what I'm talking about. I'm referring to a different type of intervention, a deliberate intervention, where one person is targeted and both reap the sorrow for it. For example, how Peeta decides or thinks he decides to dislike Katniss, but it was mind control. Over the years of my work with many individuals, I have heard many examples of what I refer to as a romantic hijacking. The personality dramatically shifts and the other person seems completely unaffected emotionally. So one person feels the trauma of the loss of that individual, the other person doesn't feel anything, whereas they were both deeply in love or deeply cared about one another. And the insensitivity of the other person is clear that there is a type of almost unnatural hypnosis or association. I have seen this happen over and over and over again. And this comes in as a form of handling by the corporations, like, for example, Monarch Solutions. To further use that individual, they need to have full control of them. And if they see they're going into the wrong direction, then they intervene and stop the relationship. This program is not to be confused with the honeypot or the Lovebite or the handler. The honeypot is someone that comes in and is there to artificially create a romance. The Lovebite is there to handle a person and control them. That also is unnatural, and it's from certain types of corporation programming as well, and who often step in to assist the corporation in destroying the relationship. Another variation is the Red Sparrow, also another movie of Jennifer Lawrence. This program is to seduce in a more complex military way, mostly targeting people in upper levels of military or political power. Understanding the terminology and the causes is the first way to identify the problem before we can understand what happens. Is there a remedy for the Black Rose program? In some cases, yes. In some, no. According to the depth of the hijacking and connection to the corporation, such as Monarch or other corporations, that will be the determination of the outcome. But it does help to be aware, and it also helps a lot. If a person has a sense that they are connected to some of these programs, that there are certain patterns, behaviors, or they acknowledge those patterns and behaviors being in others around them, that they ask to be freed and released from the Monarch program, and specifically the Black Rose program. Please note, the corporations do not like marriage, love, romance, and families. They like to use individuals for their own gain or agenda. I encourage people to be all the wiser when dealing with situations of the heart.